Hey church, and welcome back to Avalon Reconnect. Today we're going to dive further into the teachings of Ephesians 5:25 through 33, which calls husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church. These verses, they set a high standard, and believe it or not, it's not just a suggestion, but it's a divine mandate, a divine ideal, urging husbands to embrace their role with the utmost seriousness and dedication. And so 2 points that I want to reiterate and expand upon from this last Sunday's sermon. The first being is servant leadership. I said it on Sunday and I'll say it again, but the greatest leaders are the greatest servants. Jesus, the prime example, the ultimate example of a servant leader, demonstrated this through his entire life, through his ministry and his teachings. He even confirmed this in Matthew chapter 20, verse 28, where he said, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." This model of leadership is not necessarily about wielding power, but about serving others selflessly and leading in that way. In marriage, husbands are called to serve their wives with the same humility and dedication as Christ. This means prioritizing her needs, offering support without expecting anything in return, and continuously seeking ways to make her feel valued and cherished, pursuing her. Philippians 2 verses 3 and 4 capture the essence of servant leadership, where it says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of the others." Husbands are to reflect Christ's servant's heart, putting their wives' well-being above their own desires. A servant leader in marriage sets the tone of the entire household on what ideals are most important, the ideals of Christ. Number 2 for you all today is loving in all circumstances, all circumstances. There is never a time when a husband is not called to love his wife. Love is not conditional. It's not based on situations or circumstances. It's a steadfast commitment through it all. Romans 5:8 reminds us, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. While we were still his enemies, while we wanted nothing to do with him, he still died for us." This unconditional love is the same love husbands are called to show their wives, regardless of the situation, regardless of how they're being treated. Consider 1 Corinthians 13, the love passage. I encourage you to go read it, because you'll see that passage, it emphasizes that love is an enduring commitment, and it's not swayed by emotions. It's not swayed by external factors. It means loving through the joys and the trials, the triumphs and the failures. It's about showing grace when mistakes are made and offering forgiveness freely. This love is not just a feeling, but an action, a deliberate choice to honor and to cherish your spouse every day, creating a marriage that will withstand the test of time and, of course, reflect the divine love of Christ. And so Ephesians chapter 5, 25 through 33 is a powerful call to husbands, urging them to rise to the high standards of loving their wives as Christ loved the church. This love, it's characterized by servant leadership, unwavering commitment through all circumstances. And so as we strive to embody these principles in our marriage, we're not only strengthening the relationship that we have with our wives, but this type of love that is different from the rest of the world reflects the love of Christ, and people can see him in our marriages. So all that being said, these principles of servant leadership and unconditional love, believe it or not, they do extend beyond the boundaries of marriage. And as followers of Christ, we're called to serve one another with humility and with love, regardless of our marital status. Jesus' example of selfless service and unwavering love is a model for all believers to chase after. Whether single, married, young, or old, we can all embody these ideals in our daily interactions, fostering a community that mirrors Christ's love. And that's how he said we're going to change the world. So let us commit to serving and loving others with the same dedication, the same grace, creating a world that reflects the heart of our Savior, a world transformed by Christ's love through us. And so your engagement question for today: what is a lesson taught to you by your dad, or maybe any man who has had a significant influence in your life? Or maybe if you'd rather answer this, what is one of your fondest memories with them? Would love to see an answer to one or maybe even both of those questions over in the Church Center app.